Miss Universe Kenya 2024 Irene Ng'endo has finally come out to speak out her truth, her side of the story. Let me tell you something. People were really painting her as the villain. She was really being painted as the woman who would not listen to what the organization was trying to say to her. She was not really listening to the directions from the organization. She was refusing the designs. She wore clothes from the designers that the organization gave her. Let me tell you something. It was just a mess a few days ago. It even led to Irene resigning from the Miss Universe Kenya. But the question was, Irene is not speaking her part. Her side of the story was silent. The Miss Universe organization of Kenya had a few of their people in the organization spreading their side of the story to other people, to the media, to social media. On Irene's part, Irene was very, very quiet. But today, 1 or 2 hours ago, Irene has finally released a full 14 minutes video explaining with evidence everything as it took place. She did not leave anything out. She gave every detail, every detail about the situation that happened in the whole Miss Universe fiasco. This woman was painted as the villain. This woman was painted as rebellious. She was painted as the woman who did not care about the Miss Universe organization of Kenya. She was painted as the worst Miss Universe to ever come out of Kenya. But little did we know, she was just a victim as much as she was victimized and hated on and bullied by that organization. Now, I don't want to say very many things because I am not Irene. I'm going to play for you a video, the whole 14 minutes video of Irene explaining everything in details. Don't forget to comment down in the comment section below. Tell me what you think. Do you think Irene deserved all this? Do you think she took too long to speak out? Or do you think this was the right time for her to speak out? Watch Irene and we will get back to finish up this video.
Hi guys! After long deliberation with family, friends, legal team, and professionals, I have finally decided to do this video. This video is intended to provide clarity and dispel misinformation, and in accordance with that, I shall be providing simple facts with evidence. First off, just like every lady on the Miss Universe Kenya stage, I put in the hard work, my best foot forward in hopes of winning, and I was happy when I did. I had no prior agreement with the Miss Universe Kenya national organization before the pageant in regards to the competition. Allegations like staff being planted with placards as evidence of a prior agreement are false, as those were my family and friends showing support. This is not new to pageantry, both national and international. Next thing is clarification on the training and resources provided by the organization. In preparation for the international pageant, this is the itinerary that the Miss Universe Kenya shared with me. Within it, fitness training, public speaking class, media and crisis management training, Spanish classes, question and answer quickfire, runway training with gowns and swimsuits, wardrobe packing, mock preliminary final dress rehearsal, style, consultation, and all-day wardrobe were all the trainings that were not actualized by the organization as promised. This was my first experience of the organization's poor work ethic that made me question if I had support within the organization. As for the allegation that I never attended trainings, I attended all catwalk trainings and executed as trained. In fact, if it was not for the kindness of the coach, training would have stopped a while back. Let's talk about the outfits. These are the 13 outfits that were approved and provided by the organization. You will notice that there are no shoes or accessory provided. No styling was done. I would require 19 outfits minimum for the days I would be there. Additionally, the Miss Universe International recommended 53, and I suggested to the team that we should consider having at least 43. On 21st October, I was informed only these clothes will be provided and I would have to supplement them with my own wardrobe. 7 days to the scheduled departure. At this time, I had only done a final fitting for 4. of the 12 outfits. On 26th October, one designer sent over the clothes she was tasked, 7 clothes, 2 days to the scheduled departure. On 29th October, 5 more clothes were sent to me, 1 day after scheduled departure. This would mean, with the scheduled departure dates, I would have left with 7 outfits only. No shoes, no accessories, no styling. At the end of it all, I had to consult friends and family on styling, request designer friends to help me in creating extra outfits pro bono, borrow suitcases, accessories, shoes from family and friends, request friends and family to assist me in packing. Given all that I have disclosed so far, I stand by my decision to have a backup wardrobe from the moment I noticed that I could not put my confidence in the organization because of the lack of support and poor work ethic. I cannot confirm how far this incompetence went. I know for certain that the creative director and the chaperone failed me. Susie and Audrey, do better for the next queen. In regards to the allegations of not taking any advice about my outfits and dismissing feedback from the Miss Universe Kenya team, no comments were made when Kenya was a standout in outfits. The only actionable feedback was given to me on the 13th November, 1 day to the preliminaries. When anything was perceived as bad, the organization was quick to demoralize without sharing any action points. And yet, one of the values the organization claims to stand by is humanity. As you can see, my response to all of this was challenging them that we should remain positive. It is unfortunate that someone from the organization deliberately went out to spread misinformation on the same. And even more unfortunate that a former representative can spread misinformation without following journalistic best practices like confirming the same is factual. Let's now address why I was fashionably late. Here's a timeline of events. On the 16th of August, I won Miss Universe Kenya. On 4th September, the organization asked for my passport. On 26th September, the official visa application process began. On 29th September, I was done handing in all necessary details for a successful application for my visa. On 21st October, 4 working days to my scheduled departure on the 28th of October, the organization says we have visa appointments for the 23rd of October, 2 working days to my scheduled departure. The Mexican embassy clearly states that the appointments do not guarantee the approval of a visa and that after the interview, they have up until 10 working days to issue an answer. On 22nd October, I am struggling to get necessary documents from the Miss Universe Kenya organization management needed for the appointments. I found this reckless. On the 24th October, I requested for help from the Miss Universe International organization to send a letter to the Mexican embassy to expedite my application. On the 29th October, seeing as we had not received our Mexican visa approval, the national organization asked me to apply for a Schengen visa. This is 1 day after my scheduled departure. On the 31st of October, I finally got the visa 2 days after my scheduled departure, day 3 of Miss Universe International Bootcamp. I arrived on day 4 evening in preparation for day 5 of Miss Universe Bootcamp. Despite visa applications process being complicated, all this could have been avoided if the organization started and followed through the processes earlier. Let's talk about the contract situation. All the Miss Universe Kenya contestants signed a contract stating their responsibilities and expectations to agree to should a contestant win the pageant. On 2nd October, a new contract 3 weeks to my departure was shared. I found it unusual that a new contract was introduced at this point. This was a rushed process and I found it unprofessional that the creative director tried in multiple times to coerce me into signing it by implying that I would not get my monthly installment payments and that they would not pay for my preliminary and final night gowns until I signed the contract, which I clearly highlighted to her that it is unprofessional and coercion, which had no basis since we already had a verbal agreement that I would cater to the 2 gowns, 2,000 USDs, from balance owed to me by the organization, 3,741 USDs. Let's talk about the national costume. On 1st September, call for national costume designers was made. On 8th September, the organization shared with me Cynthia's idea as the design that they liked, and I agreed. On 27th September, I initiated conversations with that designer to work on a backup national costume. This was to ensure we had options to choose from based off of the best actualization of Cynthia's design. On 2nd September, I was informed that the national costume was commencing alongside Cynthia and a team from Ushanga. On 11th October, in a physical meeting, I found out that the creative director changed the design from Cynthia's idea to a different one without any communication and had not begun its production, 17 days to my departure. I made a judgment call to finish up mine as backup. On 28th October, my backup national costume arrived and I practiced with it. At this point, I had not fitted or seen the organization's national costume design because it was not ready. On 31st October, I departed having informed the entire Miss Universe Kenya team of my packed backup costume, seeing as their costume was not ready. I informed them that Cynthia's design spoke Rana more than theirs, and they insisted that their idea was better. We agreed that it would be a backup. On 11th November, videos of the chaperone wearing the organization's national costume backdrop that had just been completed were sent to me. This was the first time I saw the national costume backdrop. 2 days to the preliminaries. On 13th November, Mexican time, at night, the national director arrived in Mexico with the organization's national costume and informed me at 12 a.m., 14th November, that the backdrop has not arrived. I was added to a group to discuss the way forward in case the organization's national costume backdrop does not arrive, and we agreed to wear what was presented on stage. It was in these discussions that I was made aware that Cynthia was not part of the design team and that we would have to pay her if we wore her design. Trying to keep the decision objective, I went ahead and offered to personally compensate her should we make the decision to use hers. My intention was to keep the decision objective and choose the best for Kenya, not affected by compensation. It was a 4-1 vote. I took the advice and complied. After the backlash from Kenyans, they requested to remove me from the group so I could not see the negativity. This was the last time that the team, apart from the national director, spoke to me till date. The national director spoke to me after the final competition to congratulate me, and no one has spoken to me since then. It is very unfortunate that someone from the organization came forward to lie, stating that I informed them 2 days to the preliminaries that the costume had not arrived. It is astonishing that the perpetrators of misinformation are trying to paint a narrative that I was focused on self-promotion and therefore did not take advantage of the organization's many resources. And yet, 1, my intentions were clear from my application to the national competition that my platform, Inspiring Revolution, focuses on youth empowerment through the self-help workbook, which in turn generates funds for community development via microgrants. 2, pageantry, at the heart of it, stands for community development. This industry requires more queens, former queens, contestants, and organizations that are focused on doing the actual work and not the vanity of it. In conclusion, I would like to make one thing clear. I was okay with making all these investments to cover for their shortcomings, with the thought that this is their first time running a pageant. But my final straws were when the organization chose to stay silent and indifferent towards me after the competition, when the organization fails to address public concerns, showing a lack of accountability and professionalism, when a member of the organization is colluding with outside sources to publish lies and misinformation to tarnish a brand that I have built for almost a decade. Thus, I submitted my resignation. With that said, I would like to acknowledge that despite this difficult journey, I had a support system that carried the burden willingly and made the journey beautiful. Special thanks to my amazing coach, Paynet Joanne, for training me, Body and Spirit Gym and Mean Fitness for taking care of my fitness journey, Laureen Blessing of Lolo Fashion House, and Elias Ebu of L Style Empire for your sleepless nights designing extra outfits, friends and family for planning and hosting a watch party, the partners who believed in the platform inspiring revolution and gave towards the micro grant, and to all of you who showed your continued support through voting, sharing, and praying with me. I am excited for what is ahead and look out for updates on our impact agenda. All in all, I hope this video will ensure future queens benefit from an improved experience. Thank you.
Now, you just had Irene's side of the story, 14 minutes long. She truly took her time, prepared everything very, very well, and everything was said like a pro. She was basically reading from a paper so that she could not miss anything or any point. And I think that was very, very, very important. Now, ladies and gentlemen, this shows to you that you should not judge people before hearing their side of the story. And to our dear Irene, we are wishing you the best. We love you. We see you. I did a video to congratulate and empower all the Miss Universe contestants who came from Africa. If you haven't seen that video, go and check it on my Instagram page. And Irene was one of the few Miss Universe from Africa who actually liked the video and responded to it. And I have to tell you something. These women actually go through a lot without us knowing. As fans, we love the glitz and the glamour of it all, the way they present, the way they move, the way the way they entertain us, but we basically sometimes don't know what is going on behind the scenes. And this shows you that respect the queens, love them, and actually give them a chance to speak up when they can. Thank you for watching this video to the end, and please remember to comment down on the comment section, and remember to like the video. Tell me what you think about Irene's situation, and I hope to see you on the next one. Subscribe. Bye.